Hello everyone, Dervla Clark here, and you are all very welcome to this live stream where I'm going to speak about procrastination. And to those of you joining the replay, you are all very welcome. Feel free to like, to give me some hearts, thumbs up, and to comment on this live stream. And also, you are more than welcome to share this with your friends. Share it with anyone who you feel may be interested in this topic about procrastination. So I see, hi Inga, you've joined. Thanks very much for the hearts. So I'm not going to delay about talking about procrastination. So procrastination can be very sneaky. So what is procrastination? Procrastination is simply delaying taking action on something that we intended to do. An example of this in your business may be creating content for your website. It may be creating scheduled posts. It may be putting off going on live stream, and it can show up in many different ways. And we can find ourselves maybe putting off doing these things because subconsciously, like not consciously, but subconsciously, there may be fear, there may be anxiety underneath actually taking action and getting our work out into the world and becoming more visible and becoming more successful in our business. So it can, we can find ourselves maybe spending extra time scrolling on Facebook, putting off starting creating that video or doing that blog content or whatever it may be in your business. We can find ourselves making another cup of tea. You may notice, you think, well, I'll do it in another hour, so I'll do the laundry in between, or maybe I'll go for a walk. And we can come up with all of these excuses, and we may not be consciously aware that we're sabotaging ourselves, but it can be, as I said earlier, very sneaky. So underneath procrastination, there can be some fear, some anxiety. There can be that feeling that if we create the videos and we do our freebie and we put it out into the world, maybe that it can be too hard for us to do it and it feels uncomfortable. It can bring with it a fear of success. So for me, there's always an element of underneath the procrastination, there's a level of not feeling safe, of not feeling good enough. And this is certainly something that I've experienced myself when I've explored my own self-sabotage and my own little ego's way of tricking me into keeping me playing small, keeping me hiding, holding on to that fear so that I don't actually move forward in business and that I don't shine. And it doesn't matter, we can have big dreams and big visions and we can have it all written down, but until we take action, that is very unlikely to manifest for us. So it can be linked back, and this is my own experience, to a younger version of ourselves when maybe somebody was jealous of something that you did, and now that's running in your subconscious mind. So subconsciously, you're afraid to take action. You're afraid to be more visible, to be successful in your business, because you may rock the boat. And that can be family members, it can be friends, it may be that, and this seems to be a common one among therapists. I've heard it mentioned several times at different workshops, whether it's in person or online. We can have a subconscious fear that our relationship with our partners may change if we put ourselves out there, if we become more successful in business. How is it going to change my relationship with my partner? Does that mean that me becoming more successful means I'm going to spend more time away from home? Perhaps it may bring in travel opportunities, or it may be that I'm growing and evolving, but my partner still seems to be staying the same and not so much interested in personal development and personal growth. So we can come in and tell ourselves these stories that, perhaps this isn't the relationship for me. That's something that I've seen come up. So I would always ask you, to sit down and to look underneath the energy first before you make any decisions in relation to changing, major relationships in your life. It can bring in a fear of being criticised and being judged. And by putting ourselves out there, by becoming more visible, we do open up ourselves to that possibility that we may get a negative comment on our live streams, or that somebody may not like our book, or that people will laugh at us, or whatever. Again, coming back to my own experience, I find that that was a genuine fear of mine, but it linked back to a younger version of me, of feeling not safe, of feeling that I was being judged, and of feeling that I wasn't good enough. So simple questions for you to ask if you feel that you're procrastinating. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And you can even say it out loud. I am afraid of, and fill in the blank. Or what is the downside to me taking action in becoming more visible in my business? What is the downside? Who or what? Who may be upset? Or what might happen? What do I think may happen? And again, these are stories that are running in our energetic system. The good news is that energy is stuck energy, it's limiting beliefs, it's fear that's holding us back, and we can change and shift that energy. I have done it myself. I have procrastinated many times, and I share with you on my 5-week business tips about procrastination and about an honest account of a situation where I moved through procrastination, where I knew that I was feeling tired, but I also knew deep in my heart and soul that I was putting off doing something. I was putting off writing a blog or doing something, and I knew that underneath it was fear. So I share that honest account with you. I share with you a tapping script that you can download, and I also share a video that you can tap along with. So there can be many layers of procrastination, and it's like many aspects to procrastination. So it's like procrastination is that self-sabotage that keeps us small, and consciously we may feel safer. But subconsciously, our subconscious mind is actually there to keep us safe and to keep us in our comfort zone. But 95% of our beliefs and our behaviour come from our subconscious mind. So if you want to move forward in life, in business, move through those comfort zones, or move out of those comfort zones that are holding you back from actually creating the life and the business that you have deep in your heart and soul, that you want to create, well, then I suggest that if you don't know about energy work, whether it's emotional freedom techniques, tapping, using colour, whatever works for you, if you're not exploring that already, I suggest that you do explore it, because everything is energy. And when we go into that fear, that fight or flight mode, what happens is the amygdala in our brain shuts down. We can't make decisions so easily. We can't think so clearly. And it generates cascades of hormones in our body that only create more fear, more stress, and long-term illness and disease. So if you know that procrastination is a habit that you're running, please sign up for my 5 tips. I will be doing more around this topic, because there can, as I say, be many aspects to it. So just, if for anybody joining me, comment below, have you experienced procrastination? Have you stayed stuck in it for quite a while? Or do you have the awareness? Do you know your pattern now? Oh, yes, I know I'm procrastinating. Or, what do you find yourself doing? Do you find yourself keeping yourself busy so that you actually avoid writing that blog, or you avoid doing that live stream, or creating posts for your social media? And I'm sharing this because I know what that's like. And it can feel uncomfortable. It can, and when we tune into the energy, when I'm actually working with the energy, I would ask you to tune into your body and feel where it's in your body. And it may be in your base chakra where you don't feel safe. It may be in your solar plexus where you've been, where your confidence might have been knocked in the past, and that you don't feel so confident in putting yourself out there. Because we're very good at hiding. We're very good at, wearing these masks in an effort to protect ourselves and to keep ourselves safe. But ultimately, in the long term, what they do is they actually hold us back so much more. And I know, and Inga knows this, she's on this live stream, she's seen me grow and evolve over the past year. And I know that I have lots more growth and lots more personal development to move through. So procrastination will show up at different stages in your business. If you're up leveling to a new stage, you may find procrastination is coming in, whether you want to redesign your website, or you want to organize a workshop, or you want to become more consistent in live streams or creating videos. It can show up in very sneaky ways. So I just urge you to become more aware of what little self-sabotage behaviours do you find showing up for you. For me, I can find myself scrolling through Facebook and spending time looking at other people's stuff instead of actually creating my own. So give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts if that's something that you can recognise that you've done, So let me just see, I had a few notes written to see if there's anything else I can think of. So ultimately, like, it's resistance, and you can feel that resistance. Well, Inga, I feel that I have moved through so much, and I know that the next level will bring up more. So, and I know that I am perfectly positioned to help people to move to a space of becoming more visible, because as a highly sensitive, introverted person, I may not look that. When I'm with my tribe, I'm probably more of an extroverted energy, but however, I've had to move through that sensitivity, that fear of being criticized, that fear of being judged, that not wanting to be seen. I wanted to hide. So, ask yourself, what am I afraid of? Who out there am I afraid of judging me? Is it my siblings? Maybe will one of them be jealous? If you're transitioning between your business and work, I know I've had colleagues in the past that might not necessarily have been on the same wavelength as me, and vice versa, and that can create discomfort. But I urge you not, and that goes for family. If we're stepping outside the family paradigm of being visible on video, I tell you, mine, I'm sure, never thought I would be out on video. Who? Dervla? The one who hides? The one who has hidden? But in me going through the layers of my own procrastination, what I found is that it went back to maybe a 12-year-old version of myself, where I felt shy, I felt insecure, I felt nervous, and I felt anxious, and I wanted to hide in the background. So underneath that fear, that indecision, that resistance, and resistance is very much, energetically, you can feel that it's a block in front of you. It's almost like this invisible wall of energy, and pushing through it, in my experience, does not work. Pushing, and I can only speak for myself, and I know if others will concur with this as well, does not work. So my recommendation for you is, even if you're to sit down and journal and ask yourself a few questions. Why am I afraid to be visible? Or why am I afraid to take action? What is the downside of me taking action? Who will be upset? In what way will I rock the boat? What's the worst thing that can happen? Find a way to move through that resistance so that you can literally, tapping is brilliant, bringing in colours is brilliant, because it releases the resistance, it releases the blocks, and then you're in a much more empowered, confident state to actually stand up and confidently sit here and do your live streams, or create your videos, or write your material, or go to that networking event, or pick up the phone and ask somebody for support, whatever it is, whatever it is. So notice your little sabotaging behaviours. Is it wasting time on social media? That's a very easy one to get caught up in. Is it making tea, doing the cleaning, when really you could be sitting down writing your blog? So just become more aware, because awareness is the key to transformation, the key to moving forward. And taking action doesn't have to feel hard and to feel heavy, because if it's done from a place of feeling hard and heavy, well, then you're not going to enjoy it. But when you release that stuck energy, and I've had some of it this morning, I didn't particularly want to do live streams today. I had set my intention to do it. So I can honestly tell you that I had to tap and move through some of my own procrastination this morning to move me to do a live stream. But I want to do live streams from a place of joy, from a place of empowerment, from a place of feeling confident, because that's a much higher vibration for me to stand in, for me to own, as opposed to feeling fearful and anxious. Now, I'm not saying that if you feel fearful that you don't do something, but you find a way to manage that fear, that anxiety. And even if you are a little bit nervous, we'll know that by you moving through those nerves and that anxiety, once you do something once, you will build that muscle of confidence and you will move forward and you will do it again. So just let me know. I know we have someone else on live. If you can just, does what I'm talking about make sense to you? Does it resonate with you? Can you see yourself in any of what I'm sharing? I would just love to know. Or are you someone who just sails through doing everything and you're cool, calm and relaxed all of the time? Just let me know. Okay. So the thing is, you know, if you're writing down your lists of the tasks that you want to complete today, if you notice yourself going off track, just remember this conversation that we've had here today and just become more aware. And maybe even write down or journal about your experiences of procrastination, self-sabotage. What is your biggest fear? If you even imagine you being that successful businessman, businesswoman, if you even sit and you tune into that future version of yourself, notice what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you feel. And is there any resistance or fear showing up in your body right now, holding you back from actually stepping into that version of you? Because we have so many opportunities and so many possibilities to actually move forward. And it's step by step. For me, it hasn't happened overnight. It's taking step by step and changing, embracing change, even though it may be uncomfortable. But you know, if we're not changing on some level, well, we're not growing. And I know that anybody watching here is into personal growth and personal development, and that you want to have an abundant, successful life, whatever that looks like for you. It may be very different for me as to what your version is. It doesn't matter. But tune in and ask yourself, so what is holding me back from being that super successful person who I want to be? What is holding me back from being that? For me, I want to be seen as an expert in the field of what I do, in supporting people move through their blocks and their limitations, in building their confidence and self-esteem around minding themselves and minding their business. That's what feels like is my sole purpose right now, and that can grow and evolve over time. So just, you know, what is the worst thing that can happen? What is the downside to me being a confident, healthy, vibrant, abundant person who brings in hundreds of thousands of euros, dollars in my business. Because you know, when we put ourselves out there, it's amazing how simple the opportunities can come in for us. And when we create more financial abundance in our lives, well, then we have more to give. We have more to give to charity, to friends, to family, whatever way you may choose to spend. So I think that's my little chat for today around procrastination. Thanks for joining me. Feel free to comment below, and I will be popping in on another live stream to do some tapping around procrastination. So if you share your comments below as to what shows up for you, it gives me material so that I can come in and do some tapping with you. So that's it for me. Take care, and I will share my link to my 5-week business tips with you in the replay in the comments below, and I will edit it after I put this up on my Facebook page when I finish recording. So that's it. Take care. Have a great evening, day, night, wherever you are, and I shall see you very soon. Bye for now.